sure there's somebody that's asking, well, how do I know whether or not I have a eating disorder? Like, what are some warning signs that I need to pay attention to, not only
Mhm.
for myself, but maybe a loved one as well?
Yeah, it's you notice that they start avoiding eating. Oh, I'm going to bed early, or you're making excuses in so many different ways. And really, if it's yourself sitting with that, okay, why am I avoiding this? Why am I avoiding going out? Um, is it um yeah, what's behind all that ultimately? But you'll start noticing you'll see obsessions with dieting, maybe losing weight, or maybe body features. For us, like I say, I go back to the bulimia um and binge eating. It may not it's or it may not be thinness for us, and a lot of times it's not. We want the curves, right? So it may be focusing on surgeries. Oh, can I get this surgery, or can I how can I improve this? Or you're over exercising because you're trying to build that booty. All these different things that may come up that can that you'll be able to see that you don't have the healthiest relationship with yourself and food. But I definitely will pay attention to your eating patterns. Do you have rituals? Um, Even with the intermittent fasting, that can get out of hand. Of you're adding on hours of not eating, and then you find yourself uh, gobbling down food, and you're inhaling it and not even enjoying food in a mindful way. All those different things can indicate, like, okay, I need to do some work around this and explore it more. For those that are struggling with this, or they're like, oh, maybe I have need something there, of course, see a therapist that specializes in this, like myself, or and a eating disorder specific dietitian, not a nutritionist, but a dietitian. It's almost comparable to a therapist versus life coach. And I say that specifically is because they understand the nuances of an eating disorder versus if you're telling them, oh, I want to lose weight, and they don't know how to navigate that, they can actually do more harm than good. So you want someone that's knowledgeable about how to navigate your relationship with your body versus goals that may not be helpful for you and can seek you deeper into an eating disorder.
Oh my word. There is so much that's coming up in all that you just said because immediately I think about the importance of creating like your health team and
Oh,
making
yes,
sure
absolutely.
and making sure that everybody is on the same page. It's interestingly enough, we separate mental health from like your physical health, even though the brain is a part of the body, which
Mm-hmm.
makes no
Mm-hmm.
sense at all. And so reminding yourself, one, to have the courage to advocate for your needs, especially with your primary care physicians, especially with your nutritionist or your OBGYN, because all of these systems interact with one another
Mm-hmm.
and it's so important. So if you are experiencing any of these symptoms or if you have an estranged relationship with food, communicate that so that they can either point you to the right direction or at least find somebody who is skilled and trained and aware. The other thing that stood out to me when you were talking about the different signs and symptoms is like some of these things sound like other disorders, other differential diagnoses of any
Mm-hmm.
kind. So even when you were talking about like the rituals and rumination, I thought, oh, obsessive compulsive disorder,
Uh-huh.
anxiety, and like changes in mood depending on how often you eat,
Mm-hmm.
depression, and things like that. Can you speak to the comorbidity when it comes to disorder eating, eating disorders?
Yeah, I do see it quite a bit. When we were talking earlier before, when it comes to substance use or abuse, and when I have clients where they have OCD, depression, they experience those different various mood disorders, all those different things that coincide of that. And it depends on who the person is, but the eating disorder actually could be primary and not even recognize it because you have all these other attributes that you can see. And you ask about food, or someone that doesn't know how to explore that, it's like, oh no, that's fine, because you don't know. But the truth of the matter is that is something that is very present and something that is impacting that person's life. And mind you, here's the thing. You mentioned again our bodies, just our mental health and our body physical health impacts all these things and it works all together. But if you're not nourishing your body, if you're not caring for it in a way, it's not going to be able to even have those clear thoughts. We're talking about reframing. We do a lot of that in therapy. But if you haven't nourished your body and your brain doesn't even have enough power to do that, how are you going to be able to care for yourself? You're not going to be able to think things through and make those wise decisions for yourself, for your body, for your life ultimately. And that's the whole goal.
Hey, lovely. Shout out to you because I know mental and emotional wellness is important to you. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. But lean in really quickly because I know sometimes it's really hard to create a plan and actually sticking to it. So let's take your mental health to another level. Ever wonder what keeps you from fully executing? Ever wonder how you can build the confidence for decision making? Well, guess what? You're not alone and I'm here to help. So head over to mentalhealthgoals.com for your free mental health plan. It'll give you practical strategies for addressing your current mental health needs. But first, you got to tap in. So head over to mentalhealthgoals.com to receive your free mental health action plan today. Do it right now. Mentalhealthgoals.com. See you soon.